right? Dopamine, alcohol and Coke.
Ah. And then when you use alcohol and Coke for like several days, if you've been on a bender,
Yeah.
is that why you feel
GABA.
suicidal when it runs out? Is because all your dopamine is gone?
Yes. Yeah, because your body stops producing it. If your brain, if you're getting it from an outside source, there is no reason for your brain to produce 0, 1, 2, 3, which is when my brain's doing most of its growing. I have no endorphin tracks in my brain.
Ah.
And if so, I will feel wrong, but I won't know I feel wrong
Yeah.
until one night someone goes, have a line of this.
Yeah.
And I have a line of that, and for the first time in my life, my endorphin system will be functioning and firing.
And you're like, what's this?
And I'm
The
like,
sense of always just being in the wrong place at the wrong time, and even it was so tiring. Mm-hmm. And when I
but
now
very basically, you got a frontal lobe, right?
Yeah.
And the frontal lobe can make judgment calls. At 2 a.m., there's a bottle of tequila, there's some Coke on the mirror, and someone says, oh man, I think if I don't go home now, I'm going to fuck up going to work in the morning. And the frontal lobe will go, yes, you need to go home because otherwise you're going to screw up your job. Your partner's going to be pissed off with you. You need to walk away from this now.
Yeah.
You've had enough. It's
Yeah.
okay. Sadly, drugs in addicts don't work in the frontal lobe. What happens in an addict is the frontal lobe shuts down in an addict. And they can't make those kind of decisions. Where drugs work in addict is in the midbrain. And the midbrain, so that when I say tagged, it's the midbrain in an addict that tags the drugs.
Okay.
And the midbrain's really only interested in three things. It's the really primeval part of the brain. So it's only interested in survival and survival of the race. So 3 questions. Can I eat it? To survive. Should I kill it? To survive. And it's not interested in romance and flowers. It's just basically, should I fuck it?
Yeah.
And a non-addict. And you shoot them up with cocaine. The midbrain lights up like mad and the frontal lobe dies in the addict. In the non-addict, that doesn't happen really. And what that means is now, when you say to someone, hey, listen, it's time to go home, and they see there's still some tequila left, there's still some Coke on the table, they're like, what the feeling they have is, if I don't have it, I will die.
Yes, that I got a visceral reaction when you said that.
Yeah, they don't think that. You know, it's not that clear, but they have that feeling. So now the drugs are purely about survival. And I remember a doctor saying to me many years ago, he started telling me about his holiday in the Midwest of America. And I was like, what the fuck are you telling me this about? And he was saying that he'd been on the Oregon Trail where, you know, for 20 years, hundreds and hundreds of wagons had crossed this prairie. And there are now grooves in the prairie. And if you put a wagon on that prairie, the wheels would fall into those grooves and the wagon would have to go west. And as I was thinking, why are you telling me this? He goes, your brain is like that prairie.
Yes.
And my experience was, after 3 years of being operated on and being given oxycodone, those grooves just fell straight in.
Yeah.
And I was back in active addiction and I lost 8 years of my life.
Yeah.
You know, having had quite substantial recovery, and then came out of that, God knows how, I almost died, and met you.
Yeah.
So you know, how deep are those grooves? I think has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
Can you change where you tag a substance in your brain? I don't know. For their children. If you're on an aeroplane, who do you put the oxygen mask on first?
You.
So if you're dead, you can't look after your children. Hence, an addict will put the drugs, the substances, before their children, because if they're dead, they can't look after them. And then society looks at this and they go, these are bad people.
About what sobriety means to you, just what it's giving you and not what it's taking away. And maybe if you did have a drop, you would then want to have more. Alcohol is moreish. It's kind of part of what happens in you know, our physiological bodies when we have it. So it's not a flaw in you necessarily. It's just kind of the nature of the substance, but it's doing nothing for you. So most of my work is on that foundation of harm reduction. So this is just about meeting people wherever they're at and without judgment, and trying just to get those negative consequences down. So back in the clubbing example, for people who are on amphetamines, MDMA, things like that, often get quite thirsty.
Yeah.
You don't really have the same cues to turn off the thirst. So one of the ways we can help people is to remind them that you will be thirsty, but to be careful not to drink too much, because you'll throw off your electrolyte balance.
What would have been good would have been to just be checked onto the detox unit, because then I would have at least had like a few days for it to leave my system safely, because alcohol withdrawal can kill you. And that's one thing that I really want to tell people, because, they can't, if they're a daily drinker like that, they can't just stop, because you can have a seizure. It's really, not many people know that. And so medical detox is essential.